Welcome to the channel where you'll hear the world's greatest tales. Here is one of the famous tales from the island of God, Bali, Indonesia. The legend of Kebo Iwa, the origin of Lake Batur and Mount Batur. Once upon a time, there was a Balinese couple who lived in harmony and had enough wealth. However, they felt incomplete happiness because after years of marriage, they had not been blessed with children yet. After praying endlessly every day to be given a child to Sang Hyang Widi Wasa, which is the name for God in Hinduism, the wife was finally pregnant and gave birth to a baby boy. Unfortunately, not long after, the husband and wife died, and the baby lived alone. Every day, villagers took turns feeding the baby. The baby turned out to be special because his growth was very fast. Even though he was still a baby, his food portions resembled those of adults. The baby ate a lot, and one meal was equivalent to 10 adult plates. As a result, his body became very big. As the days went by, he grew bigger, and so his appetite. Over time, his body size exceeds that of an adult. That is why the villagers named the baby Kebo Iwa. It means buffalo's uncle, because the baby ate so much food like a buffalo. When he was an adult, Kebo Iwa had an angry trait. If his food wishes were not fulfilled, Kebo Iwa would damage the surroundings. Kebo Iwa could destroy people's houses and would not even hesitate to destroy temples when he felt there was not enough food for him. This made the villagers afraid of him. However, Kebo Iwa was actually reliable. Because of his large body and strength, Kebo Iwa was often asked for help to carry stones, level the grounds, move buildings, build dam rivers, and even dig wells. Kebo Iwa did all of that because of the reward of abundant food that the villagers prepared for him. One day the village was hit by a drought. The amount of harvest had decreased drastically because there was no water in the village, making it difficult for people to find their own food. And because most of the population there lived from agriculture, they were worried about food supplies. They also had difficulty feeding Kebo Iwa. How could they meet Kebo Iwa's enormous food needs, while their daily food needs were limited? They were frightened by the thought of Kebo Iwa's anger, who was always hungry and could go on a rampage again. To solve the problem, the community discussed building a large well in the village. The villagers also succeeded in finding a strategy to get rid of Kebo Iwa. Then the villagers met Kebo Iwa, who was enjoying the food that had been prepared for him. The villagers expressed their complaints that many villagers' houses were damaged due to Kebo Iwa's actions during his rampage. Kebo Iwa insisted that it was the fault of the villagers who did not give him enough food. Villagers said that the food shortage occurred due to crop failure, because the water was no longer available during the prolonged dry season. However, if Kebo Iwa could build a large well, agriculture would become fertile again. Villagers would use water from the well to irrigate rice fields and agricultural land, so that there would be no more crop failures and there would be enough food for all. If they were able to build this large well, the villagers assured Kebo Iwa that they would give him any amount of food that he wanted. Making a well was an easy thing for Kebo Iwa. He agreed and became enthusiastic when he heard the villagers' requests for help. He couldn't wait to be satisfied with the abundant food. Kebo Iwa rebuilt the damaged houses and dug up land in designated places. At the same time, villagers collected large stones around the Kebo Iwa excavation site. Out of curiosity, Kebo Iwa asked about the large stones collected by the villagers. They said the stones were prepared for Kebo Iwa's house. He became more enthusiastic about digging the well until water began to gush out of the ground. Kebo Iwa thought his work was finished, but apparently not. The villagers said that the well dug was still not big enough to be a water source for a village. Kebo Iwa continued to dig the hole in the ground until it got bigger and deeper. After work, Kebo Iwa was finally tired and took a break to eat. The villagers had prepared a lot of food for Kebo Iwa, and this made him very happy. Not waiting long, Kebo Iwa immediately ate all the food. Became stuffed, Kebo Iwa fell asleep until he snored in the well he dug. Kebo Iwa's sleep was the time that the villagers had been waiting for to carry out the strategies that had been prepared. Then the village head ordered the villagers to throw large rocks that had been prepared into the Kebo Iwa well. When villagers flocked to throw stones into the hole, Kebo Iwa remained sound asleep and did not realize what the villagers were doing. Water from the ground continued to come out to fill the well hole. Large stones were increasingly filling the excavation. Kebo Iwa, who was asleep inside, suddenly choked and awoke. He was shocked to realize what had happened. Unfortunately, when Kebo Iwa woke up it was too late. The feeling of fullness combined with the water and rocks that filled the well dug made him unable to get out of the well and saved himself. Kebo Iwa became helpless and finally died buried in his own dig. Unfortunately, the water from the excavation kept coming out until it overflowed and flooded the village and surrounding area. As a result of the flood, villagers ultimately lost their property, fields, farms, and houses. Everyone rushed to flee to higher ground without being able to save many items. Several submerged villages then formed a large lake. The lake is now known as Lake Batur. The pile of soil excavated from Kebo Iwa, which piled up later, formed a mountain which is now known as Mount Batur. These two are located in Kintamani, Bali, Indonesia. The legend of Kebo Iwa, which is also the origin of Lake Batur and Mount Batur, gives some moral messages. The first moral story is that being greedy and selfish can end up harming ourselves and our surroundings. Even though we are great and strong as individuals, if we do not adapt to the environment, others will not accept us. When we have advantages or disadvantages, we should remain humble in helping or accepting help from others. And the second one is if we have bad intentions and harm people, the karma will come back to us sooner or later. Always be kind to people no matter what. Like and subscribe for more fascinating stories.